Hello and welcome, everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. Hope you're all enjoying yourselves today. Before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It does really help us out very, very much to continue to grow our channel and to allow it to flourish and spread further and wider. If you're interested in supporting us further, consider becoming a super fan, where you'll gain benefits eventually. As soon as I figure out exactly what those benefits are going to be. I don't know, maybe me ranting and raving and hating on all of the new books that come out as they come out. That might be entertaining if you like people just yelling. I could do that. But in addition to that, if you want to support us by another means, you can join us on Patreon. That gets you into our exclusive Discord server, which allows you to hang out with everybody who plays inside of our games, allows you to hang out with all of us, and there is a tier on it that allows you to jump into our games, which we do have open slots for right now, including this one. So if you're interested in it, you just have to schedule a one-on-one with me, and if you are compatible, boom, you get in. But without further ado, let's get into the action. Don't like the negativity? Well, the negativity don't like you, Ogun. Anyways, hello everybody. Kyle, tell us what happened last session, please.
All right, so last session, the full first half was used for various downtime activities. So we made some enhancements. We sold the corpse of a huge dragon turtle, made a deal with them to not sell any kind of valuable corpse to any other dens than they. Some people use the rest of the downtime to buy some stuff, get to know people, spend the hard earned money from the Dragon Turtle fight, and some used their downtime to just chill out and have a life full of depravity and actually win a boon out of it. After that, so we embarked on a boat paid by the city, so they're very gracious. We are apparently heroes of Zazis Kittril now for having saved it twice. And we embarked on a trip to New Accent. Before embarking on the boat, a very sad news to KL happened, and it was our dear friend Ayn deciding that she needed to go back to Charis and help the village using her new relationship with the great Siduria Zazis to create new trade routes.
One amendum that we're making with this. Makit is also going to stay behind to assist Arite, who is also going to stay behind in restructuring how things are going to go. Arite says that he will catch up to you all later, though. But yeah, continue.
And we embarked on the boat. And we had like some discussion with the other people on the boat. So there is a gnomish captain that we know we will hate already because it's a gnome. That basically, and it was also a gnomish crew, if I remember correctly, who told us that this boat was a neutral ground where no war bullshit should raise each other. And we met the other people embarking in the travel with us. Among those people was Celia, our not officially yet, but probably soon new member of the Dream Team. And also a couple of other people, like a shady halfling hidden in a cloak, and a former Imperial soldier with whom Kael was talking shit and didn't want to share his business and with him and want any business with him. And that's where we left off, with Celia playing pan flute in the cargo of this boat on our way to New Accent.
So, yes. You all begin going about your average day on the top of this large vessel. For some of you who haven't sailed on a large galleon before, it is vastly, vastly different than the time that you spent on top of the keel boat previously. You barely even feel the waves waking underneath you, except when it becomes a bit more treacherous in nature. You all notice as you are sailing around that you are taking kind of a non-direct path towards your location, which adds a couple of extra days to your travels. But after 1 week of traveling, you all arrive at New Haxon. Was there anything you all wish to do on the vessel in the meantime? I know Warwick said he's going to be making some ale or mead or something. How about you other guys?
I guess Creve would be attempting to learn some more how to wield the whip.
Easy enough if you can have a whip master show you around with it. Kyle? Would you mind?
Yeah, Kyle or Rurik.
Oh, Kyle, I didn't see your message. Yes. Creve wants to practice his whip some more. Since Warwick is the one making ale, would you mind helping him?
So we have one week downtime, right? For that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I was actually planning on doing some reading within the remaining of the stuff I got from our good friend, the old vampire lady.
The old vampire lady, Delilah.
Delilah.
All right. Creve, if you're willing to pay someone on the ship, they will show you a few extra whip tricks and train you for an additional week.
How much is that then?
That is, I believe, 25 GP a week.
We didn't split up the group loot, so you can just take 25 GP on the group loot and do it. Because I don't help you, I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
All right. You get to tick off 1 more week of you training towards becoming proficient in the whip. And before anybody has a problem with me allowing this, the weapons master feat or whatever it's called is utterly useless. I mean, for a feat, it's so bad. Why not let somebody train in a specialty item, you know? But anyways. Yeah,
I've taken
true.
out from the group gold defense, the 25 GP.
Alrighty. So, everybody. Uh-oh, wrong button. Was there anything you wanted to do other than continue studying the same texts, Kyle?
So I think I went through most of the book from this one.
Oh, you've gone cover to cover at this point.
So there is also the journal it's the other book that I want to read more precisely.
So her personal journal is what you want to read.
There were 3 books.
Mm-hmm.
The magical one, the journal, and a third one.
Yeah, so we
Roll
still
me an
have
investigation.
The one that has the teleportation circle you could unfold.
Sure.
It's the one that I've already read.
Let's go with sure. You still have it.
Investigation.
So,
yep.
Yeah, so Kyle has it or I have it.
Originally Makit had it. I feel like if they would relinquish it, it would probably go to Kyle. Just because books and jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Kyle. At the end of your week, exactly, Kyle wears glasses. He reads. At the end of your week, Kyle, you've read her journal a few extra times. Trying to figure out if there's any components that stand out as odd to you. So in her early days in the Empire, she recounts being trained. Please mute yourself, Kyle. Being trained by previous assembly members, the original set of members, and how she had an uncanny aptitude for discerning right and wrong very quickly, without need of research, without need of checking laws. She memorized everything, and within a moment's notice, she would know exactly what is right and what is wrong, which is quite a feat to behold. During her training, she became fascinated with a specific type of gem that they would imbue into her skin in order to amplify her magic for short periods of time, though they never taught her the secrets of this gem, what it was or where it came from. It wasn't until she was already a candidate to take over the position of a newly lost member of the assembly that she met her would-be husband. Now, she writes very fondly of him, how he was beyond romantic, beyond endearing, loving, caring, and he had a gaze that made her feel like she was quite literally the only person in the world. Just almost like he worshipped her. And when she got into, he married him. And they became the Briarwoods, him taking her name. Because in the Empire, whoever has the higher amount of power and authority is the surname that you typically keep upon achieving that power. It wasn't until about a decade in that her husband was working with the military, contracted, that they uncovered some vile crypt very close to Zadash. The exact whereabouts not listed inside of this book. And when he opened the crypt, he breathed in this toxic and nauseating gas and fell ill. Now, of course, she allocated every single resource that she had available in trying to recover him. And over the next several weeks, nothing would work. No mage, no druid. Nothing they tried was curing him of whatever disease plagued his body. And eventually he fell ill. It wasn't until the illness took his life that Delilah had a very swift change in her personality. She no longer was looking for what was right and what was wrong. In her eyes, he did everything right. He adored his wife. He loved his country. He fought for it. He risked his life, and yet nothing was willing to help him. And that gave her a disdain towards religion, as the Empire held it so closely at that time. Then, of course, everything else you've already read about and ascertained. But apparently it wasn't until he became ill that she became a monster.
So just to be clear, what I'm reading right now. Like, last week, I was mainly reading the magical book with the second in it, which is all our researches and stuff. And this one, the
diary.
The diary is basically explaining how she went through a research, right? And what you just said. Like the
Well,
next
no, if you're
steps?
reading the diary, the one that you found in the trunk, which is literally just
Yeah.
her writing down what happened in her day, that is everything inside of this diary that you came across. I
Okay.
mean, there's a lot of other things, of course, but mostly that was fluff. This was all of the key things that you could pick up and discern for getting
So I
into the
read
mind
through-
of Delilah.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. You've read 2 of the 3 books from cover to cover. The third one still needs to be read in a less shaky situation because it was the one that just from trying to pick it up, it almost fell apart. The pages were not well tended to, and it's not magical, so you need to wait until you have a good amount of time in a stable environment with no humidity to really take your time and gingerly flip the pages and read. But yeah, that's what you get after the week. Celia, how about you?
Probably nothing much. Just continuing the task and just enjoying the trip. That's
Alrighty.
how tourists would.
Alrighty then.
The only
So-
one having fun.
At the end of the week, yeah, quite literally. I don't know. I mean, Creve gets to whip around a little bit, so you know that's depending in
That's
proper
Creve.
circles, fun. You know.
That's Creve.
Now, of course, at the end of the week, you all realize that you are far enough away from the coast, and you made it far enough away that you could no longer see it. And you swooped all the way around and are moving directly in towards the coastal line. Now, the coast is not parallel with you all. It's slightly above you on an elevated platform. You see these odd phenomenons off in the distance, these rippling clouds of energy, these floating rocks periodically moving, and what appears to be very thick sandstorms that are stuck inside of cylinders as you approach. Creve, you've never seen anything like this in your life. Almost as if nature is infused with magic somehow and is reacting very, very volatile.
So, I turn to KL. What exactly is up with this place? Never seen anything quite like that.
Nothing of any good. It's the best answer that I can give you.
Well, I'd sort of concluded with that already, but Captain Thimble,
Yep.
what was the? Do you know anything about what those sandstorm pillar things are?
No good is what they are. If you're really that curious about stuff, I mean... see those floating chunks of earth over there? Those are, earth motes. For some reason, gravity doesn't work on the damn earth in that area, and just makes these floating platforms. You see those odd clouds? Yeah, everything inside of that is electric wind. Literally, the wind is electrical. It hurts. Makes you all tingly and stuff. And, what was the other thing? What was the electric... What were you asking about?
The sandstorm pillars or cylinders.
Hate to bust your bubble, buddy, but that's not sand, that's rust. It's rust rain.
Right.
Yep. It'll corrode any metal you got on you. Hopefully your stuff's a little, infused, eh? And he pats you on the leg.
Right. Thank you. Good to know.
I take out a small coin that I might have during my last trip here, And I show it to Creve. Like, this is what happened to metal in here.
Well, you don't have to waste money to show me. I know what rusting is. But
It's already wasted.
yes, well, fair enough.
That's why I bought.
Right. I hope we don't have to go through this. What you call it, Electric Avenue, or.
You're so funny. I hope you don't die.
Yes, you and all of my other fans, and me too. In fact.
All right. Well, best of luck to you all when you're out there. We're gonna be getting closer to the fort, but we have to row you in. Unfortunately, they don't actually have a working dock. Every time we try to do that, the sea tries swallowing us.
I see. So it seems like the nature itself is
Pissed off.
yes. Well, yeah, that's an apt description, I would say, maybe.
Yeah. Yep. Been like this since before my grandpappy was alive.
And what do you know anything about what caused it? Did it not used to be like this?
Dude, I captain a ship.
Well, I mean, you're a well-traveled man. You must have picked up tidbits here and there.
Oh, absolutely. If you want to know about the ocean, the reason we stayed so far away from the coastline, it's, well, the water might not look at it, but in certain places it's boiling and could actually boil the ship.
Right.
I know all about how to live, make it to and from. And the first thing I learned when I started this route is you don't fucking go out there. And he just points over towards all of that.
Right. I turn to Kale again. And so why exactly are we headed over to this place again?
Because this is probably where we'll find another tomb of the true king.
Yes.
And I think that the word we were looking for the weather and the nature is not pissed off. It's actually crazy. This, according to the legend, this place is where a huge and one of the last battle of the Calamity happened. And well, there are some remnants of gods fighting gods in this place.
Noted.
Well, I had no idea y'all were true believers or whatever, but have fun in town.
Right. Before we go, this is called New Haxon, yes?
Yeah,
So where is Old Haxon?
buried under the new one.
Right. Okay, well.
I assume you want to know what happened.
Well, it's not really too much.
All right,
big
he
deal.
walks away.
So, Celia, am I to understand you will be accompanying us? I would very much welcome you.
For now, at least, indeed.
Right, well,
Since I don't really have any other assignments so far. Just returning back for a bit, take a break, and see where I wander to after this.
I see. Well, I'll be the first to say welcome aboard then, or off board would be more apt, maybe.
I knew it.
Why is he still listening to us? Can't we have any kind of intimacy?
It's his ship after all.
Ah, not on my shit.
Okay. But You're actually from New Accent, Celia?
It was my base for a bit. I didn't really like staying in one place all the time, so I have many places that I have lodgings of. Freelancing is a pretty wonderful work if you want to travel around.
Alrighty, everybody, start loading yourselves onto the little paddle boats. All right. That's going to be 3 people per row. 3 people per row. Get on. All right, we'll lower you down. And here's your oars.
Oh no, Rory is boiling because we drag him underwater.
No, one of you is going to have to ride with the other 2 people who are getting off here.
Omen does it.
That he's not a people. Omen's your damn cat. So who's riding with them? Warwick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic. Warwick's rolling with
He's the
them.
heaviest
All right.
one. Yeah.
All right. So
Let us
You all-
with our strength.
you all get lowered down into the water, and it is really uncomfortable. The water seems a little thicker than the consistency of ocean waters that all of you have interacted with previously.
I'd like
And
to do
it's
one thing
murky.
before we
Yeah.
before we get completely off the boat and just take
All right.
turns to ritually cast water breathing on everyone.
Ah, that's really nice of you. Even the other guys?
Yeah, I mean, I can target up
Wow.
to 10 people, I think.
You're so nice, man.
I know, yeah.
Do you give it to Omen? All right, so we keep going on.
Okay, Omen can get one.
But anyways, the water is thicker than the normal consistency of water. And it has this slight murkiness that doesn't really look like mud or sand that's filling it, but something else as you are paddling through. As you're going past Kyle, you feel your paddle touches the back of something, and it just keeps moving. However, after rowing for about 10 minutes, you all make it over to the shoreline of New Haxon, where you see that there is an elite group of guards positioned there, awaiting your arrival. These individuals wear the symbology of a large golden dragon that has sharpened 4 fangs stretching down its face. All of which are wearing half plate. Or better. As you all begin approaching, they drop down the ropes to you at the water for you all to tie your rowboats onto, so they will lift you up to the actual dock itself. As you all get up here, you see that there is a very diverse group of guards at this location. One appears to be a furbolg with a mostly shaved face and massive scarring going across their cheek and neck. Fairly large and looks nowhere near as nice as the only other furbolg most of you has met by now, Ein. Ein has a very demeanor, and this individual looks like, I mean, that he might be part bear because he looks like he wants to rip your freaking head off. Standing beside him is a middle-aged human, definitely war-torn and battled. His hair is beginning to become salt and peppered in nature. And standing beside him appears to be a half-drow woman who is kind of staring at you all. She has a massive cut up the left side of her cheek that begins at her scalp and then goes all the way down. As you all get pulled up here, the 3 guards look at all of you. Sir,
Hello.
the half-drow woman speaks. You are, here for business, correct?
Returning home for me, at least. It's been a while.
She looks you up and down, and then just points. You move on.
Well, they're also with me, but you can do the usual checkups, I guess.
Fine. Arms up, legs spread.
I like where you're taking this.
Do it.
Bit fast, but okay.
As you say that, you see she like balls up her fist, and then the furbolg like holds his hand down. No, smart mouths usually get a little dead around these parts more quickly. Why give them a warning shot? And the three of them come over and start patting against all of you. Are any of you hiding religious iconography to any type of religion that you seek?
Oh, thank God.
No.
Well, not hiding. I got that, and I just take out my Luxon pennant. Say,
She looks at the
one.
pennant. Northeast side of town is where you'll be safest. Try to avoid the barracks over on the southern coast and the western coast then. And they continue patting you all down.
So is there
What?
anything particularly dangerous about carrying that kind of item?
Depending on the side of town you go to.
Right.
In
What's,
this area, we allow people to have whatever religious freedoms they wish to pursue, so long as you don't fuck with anybody else who is here with it. We're just making sure none of you are going to be problems.
Right. So it's not connected to this whole crazy, pissed off nature thing.
Who knows? None of you are
What's,
trying to smuggle in any illegal goods, poisons, toxins. If you are, you have to check them in so we know who has what in town. And they are rolling a pretty good investigation, so do any of you have any poisons on you?
No.
None of you have poisons? Okay. Easy enough.
Oh, we used the poison last fight.
No, you're not here yet, Reese. Reese. I read the name and I go to MTG, which it's Rise the Redeem. So, Reese. Very good. They do look at your equipment. Like, check out your dagger and your whip, and just shake their heads. Fucking weirdos. All right. I assume you've already been given the speech from your captain. Treat others how you wish to be treated. If you act up, get fucked.
Right.
So that means that I should be able to walk to any place of the city safe then.
I gave you your warning. If you end up dead, that's on you.
Oh, so that there are some illegal shit happening, right?
Some people have their fanatics. We tend to keep them away from each other because, although they say they don't care, their actions speak otherwise. No. She takes a step back and crosses her arms. So, you're here in New Haxon. While you are here, if you hear 3 bells chime without a 4th, you are to immediately go outside into the main roads. If there is any disaster coming, you will hear 2 bells followed by a loud whistle. We suggest you get yourself into a door frame.
And what if there is 4?
You're already dead.
No, fair enough.
But anyways, while you're here, enjoy yourselves. Keep in mind, the laws of New Haxon are different from where you all might come from. We do not frown upon murder if they deserve it. Though, if you assault any officer that is working for... her name. Satyana, you will have to answer to her.
I see.
Who is
So
this
she's
Satyana?
Satyana is the ruler over our garrison.
Right.
And who is Satyana's boss?
She takes a step over to you. No one.
Right.
Huh.
So she's the de facto leader of this place then.
That's correct.
Right.
Satyana keeps us safe as best as anyone could, and all of us report to her.
I see. Well, we're not here to cause any trouble, so...
That's what you all say. They toss your bags back to you all and gesture for you to keep moving, as now they're going to start checking the other 2 people. The human you were traveling with looks over at you all. I hope you all... hope to run into you all soon.
Stay safe.
Yep. He's not going to last long. But anyways,
Oh yeah.
you all get to walk past, and this is a 100% militarized location. You see massive garrison walls at the cusp of your vision right before all of those natural phenomenons, the bizarre terrain begins in the Blightshore. You see that none of the buildings are taller than 2 stories, except the primary large garrison in the middle of this town that you can see has a very large opening towards the top of it, almost like a clock tower, but completely open in the dome as well. As you all start moving around, every individual you look at in this area, you can tell has a story. They all have experience in this world. They've been through hell, or maybe even damnation, and made it into this location to find a life. The military, though they're not all as tightly wound up as in other locations, you can tell these are not typical guards. These aren't the stop, I'm going to arrest you type of people. These are veteran soldiers that know the risks of what they do. And they seem to be keeping a close eye on everybody while staying as neutral as possible. But anyways, you all have New Haxon at your disposal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we need to stock up on any supplies and stuff, I suppose we could do that right away and get going tomorrow.
That's probably the best move. Or maybe
Oh.
we might want to find a map across this area.
Oh, I also suggest you ask the local sky watchers to see if there's any foreseeable disasters the next day. They're usually pretty reliable in their predictions on certain things, at least in this area.
That's good to know.
And
would you
what's wrong?
would you know any that you would recommend in particular?
It's usually the what do you call it? Merchant Street, the reliable one, not the shady one.
Celia, you would be aware... Oh, you want to go All right, so the shady one is the reliable one, but you have to
All right.
pay them for this foresight.
Mhm.
If you want to go with the general person who works in the public's eye to give general information, they're nowhere near as good and reliable.
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't want to choose the shady one yet because I'm just afraid that the running the smart mouth and then getting, you know.
You know, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So you decide to go out into the open?
Mhm.
Just head on over? Okay. As
The
you are
normal
moving
one,
through,
yeah.
you all move through these very precisely lined streets. Any of you who have any experience in a militarized state, this is 100% that. It is built for efficiency, it is built for protection, not for cosmetic. Everything out here is made to survive and last. And as you begin walking through, you do make it out into a large strip of buildings, most of which have small canopies and merchants out in front of them, though none of the goods are directly in front of them at all. Celia, they usually post what the extreme weathers are going to be like outside on any number of the message boards. But that's
Well,
checked each day, so.
yeah. I just pointed out to us the rest of them. Well, these are the summarized ones. If you want to check it out for free, if you're willing to pay, you could go inside and ask for a consultation.
How expensive is it, usually?
It is pretty pricey, right? If I remember correctly.
It depends how much they like you or know you.
I mean, I sometimes get people to their shop. They probably know a little bit, not too friendly.
So long as we don't get swindled, that's.
But don't have to worry about that. They usually don't bother swindling you too much, unless arguments break out and then you start hurting people. It's messy when the questioning starts involved. No one really wants that. The last person that got questioned spent over a week in a fetal position in the middle of the road for some reason.
Kyle, as you're having this explained to you from Celia, you discern 5 people who are trying to discern if you and your group are potential marks for stealing from. You know the look. They're eyeing your equipment, seeing how you look around, seeing how you posture and mannerize yourself, and checking your footsteps very carefully. Not all together, different people, in fact.
I'm keeping an eye out for them, and if they're getting close, I'll make sure nothing happens.
If you want to look at the general board will tell you Earth motes have been spotted within 10 miles of New Haxon and the outer wall. No extreme winds quite yet, and rumors of a moving thicket heading down from the north. But that's all they can really tell you.
Anyone you trust to give us more precise information against a little coin? Celia?
I mean, most of them inside are trustworthy enough, as long as they pay them right.
And any of them you know? In particular?
I'll just peek my head and see who's working at this hour.
Well, you'll have to walk over there.
Yeah. I'll walk over there and see if there's anyone that's remotely familiar.
There's a quaint little shop, let's call it, that has a lot of ale and alcohol to sell, mostly like a rest point for people, called the Misar Outpost. It's usually where you can go to get a quick reading of the local area. There's only a couple of druids in town, that are capable of actually reading this weather because of how chaotic it is in nature. And, of course, as you are walking over there, Celia, you recognize a little tune being played right now from somebody inside.
Oh, is that tune?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just casually just walk inside and, you know, nonchalantly just lightly accompany it, like a, what do you call it, supporting,
Tune.
like, yeah, supporting tune from the background,
Alright.
just like acknowledging it.
Reese, you've been hanging out here waiting for the local wind scribe to get back and tell you what the weather is going to feel like in the local area for the next day or so. And, of course, as you typically do, you just play your instrument and, see what happens. However, you do notice that a woman walks up and begins playing the exact same tune in perfect sync with you. Reese, would you like to describe what you look like to everybody?
Yeah, sure. Reese has this alabaster, slightly tinted blue skin, white hair that's very wavy, about chin length, you might think, but only a little bit of it's coming out of a very tightly pulled ponytail. He wears a crimson vest that's visible beneath a longer tailcoat that is navy blue and black. And he has very tall boots, a number of weapons that are hanging from his belt, sort of placed so that they don't interfere with his playing, to the side. And he has a pretty sizable pack next to him. He's been traveling for a few days.
Yeah. And, Reese, do you need the other players to describe their characters?
Yeah, please, actually.
All right. Celia, since you're the first one engaging with this.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you see a youthful-looking woman with long, raven black hair and this eye-catching purple eyes, just casually walking without a care, looking careless but with steady steps, and dressed in a dark blue long coat, looking like a weathered traveled person so far, with how her equipment is like, while playing a small pan flute, just accompanying the tune that you are currently playing.
And let's move on to the next person who I imagine would be walking in, Creve.
Yeah. So Creve is rather tall. He's got a slender build, but he's sporting two quite large and rather majestic horns, sprouting from his forehead and going back. He's got a wild mane of black hair and quite intense-looking eyes, and he walks with a rather curious gait. He's got cloven hooves that, at the end of his goat-like feet, and he's also got a long, sinuous tail trailing behind him that ends in a sort of goat-like, fluffy, tuft of hair as well. And he's wearing a breastplate. Most of his clothes are rather dark in theme, and he's also carrying a whip and spear and a few other weapons, and also a fiddle on his back.
And lagging behind him, after a couple of paces of looking around and keeping a close eye, you see Kyle. Kyle, please go ahead and describe yourself.
Yeah. So you see that Kale is tall and slender figure. Quite tall, even for an elf. You definitely recognize him as if you've traveled as an inhabitant of Zoras because of his garbs, his way of moving, his accent. But while most drows have a obsidian black skin, Kale's is much lighter, a little bit more like silver. He looks quite young, but you never know about an elf age. He wears mid-long hair, tied back with a knot behind his neck. That looks like bright mercury. He has rust-colored eyes that are sharp and piercing, though they are always quite focused and worried. And surprisingly, they do not seem to be impacted by the bright light outside, and it doesn't seem to be bothered by the sun as the drow used to be. He's wearing quite, used to be fancy clothes from Zoras. Like he's from good family, and you can see it from his clothes. But yes, these clothes have seen the sun. They have seen the travel, and he's also wearing quite nice leather protection, a bit arranged and fixed up, but overall everything he's wearing is nice quality, but just a bit old. And you also immediately notice that his left forearm is covered by a bloody bandage, which itself is covered by a leather wrapping around the forearm.
So yeah, you see all of these individuals walk in, and you don't really recognize any of them. However, Celia does seem to recognize your song very clearly as they are repeating it. Either that, or they're beyond genius level of a performer who can repeat things before you play them, which you don't think is likely. But yeah, as you are all inside of this tiny little shop, mostly a walk-in, you do have a kobold walk around and holds up a tray of what appears to be drinks and holds out a cup which appears to have silver pieces in it.
Throw in a silver.
Do you take a pint?
Yeah. Wait, do I know if this is like skull burning my throat level of drink or not?
I'm sorry?
No, do I know if this is like a tourist trap drink where they just prank you with it, or?
No, they don't do anything like that here in New Haxon. New Haxon's actually very lawful about how you treat people who aren't from here. Mostly because if you act up in any capacity, you have to answer to a dragon.
Oh yeah, true that.
So, people don't really want to mess up here. No, this is just one of those, if you sit here, you have to eat something or at least pay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just take it because it's part of the rule.
Yep.
And pay him for it.
Takes it and thank you. Same thing with Kriv and Kyle then?
Yeah, I'm sort of following Celia's lead here.
Reese, of course, you still have that same drink you've been nursing, or would you like to pick up a new one? Because you just emptied it. You're muted.
I'll pick up a new one.
Very well. 1 silver as per usual. It's expensive, it's not very good, but it gives you a spot to relax in. And they only do their rounds every hour or so, so after you all pick up what you're getting and sit along the back counters, which is like a bar area that's just positioned against the walls with little leaning areas for you to sit at as well. Celia and Reese, your song is now finished.
Yeah. I'll just casually gesture for Reese to take a seat with us, if he's willing.
I don't mind if I do.
Hello.
Oh, it's nice to see a friendly friend for once when getting into a bar.
My grin couldn't be
Pleasure to
wider.
meet you. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And you as well. May I ask what your name
Uh,
is?
My name is Celia. This is
I thought
my
you
newly.
knew each other.
It's traveling performers show a bit of modicum of respect to one another in their craft.
Yes. Well,
Start playing one after all.
of course. My name is Creve. Nice to meet you too.
And
And
I'm KL. KL Van. You can call me KL.
Well, pleasure to meet all of you. My name is Reese. Do you often come around here to hear the weather, or is this a special occasion?
oh, apparently they have things to do here, so we're inquiring about the weather. That's the first thing of business.
Yes.
No
It's
idea
also-
where they're actually going, so that's that too.
It's also the traditional thing, you know, to when you meet new acquaintances, you speak of the weather as soon as you can.
He is very good in meeting new acquaintance. It's one of his skills.
Well, I mean, I enjoy company, good company. Don't we all?
I'm sure you do. What about you, Chris? Is there any reason why you need to risk? Sorry. Is there any reason why you need to know the weather for the coming days?
Traveling in this part of the world could be very dangerous. I like to know what my odds are. How
Oh, so
the
you're
sky
traveling
might
as well.
favor me today.
So you are traveling as well.
Yes.
Might I ask where you are going?
I'm not sure yet myself.
Interesting. Well, Kyle, I'll leave it to you whether or not our mission is top secret.
I don't know any mission. Personally, I'm just driven by curiosity. Though if you guys, Celia, Aris, want to bring a new pair of arms and walk up to find out stuff, you're more than welcome to tag along. As long as you're not too imperial. I hate those guys.
I think we might elaborate a little bit on it. Maybe ask her it. We're looking for something called the True King's pieces, I believe, or well, remains or whatever.
Roll me a religion check, Reese.
Sure.
See, we've got these annoying dreams. Ugh.
Yeah, and there is a. Well, actually, that's true. That's right. Let's take this angle.
Rip the band-aid off. Woo!
Hey.
Yeah. So, Crave and Rorik and I. Rorik is the old dude, drinking his tea. We had some dreams, mingled dreams, where we apparently all share the same dream and saw some stuff in the astral sea, and we're actually looking for answers to this situation. Apparently, other people have these kind of dreams, but we haven't met any other person since Wow. Sort of a split up. But that's also why our little friendly group is called the Dream Team.
Dream Team.
Right.
Interesting. This wouldn't happen to involve some sort of, I don't know, sort of watery fountain chalice type thing in a sphere?
No, we're not called the Wet Dream Team.
I
Actually,
knew it. I knew it.
would I, because I have a good history of faith, good memory of faith, would I have seen in one of the dreams a blue Genesi?
Roll me a history. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
There's the DMCA. Hey, we're done, guys. Just, 24. They were the one that was on the other side of the overflowing large bowl of water. It's okay, we're not on Twitch. Yeah, you're right. On YouTube, they just cut out the audio so you don't have to worry about it. It's great. They can even extract it from your videos. It's wonderful. Anyways. Yeah, they were there. You didn't really think very much because they were on the other side of this floating bowl of overflowing water and kind of looked around at all of you, but mostly was curious about where they were. They weren't really in the forefronts of your eyes.
I will grab a piece of paper and draw the Cadiz kind of fontaine discs. I don't know how you call it, that I wear in the middle, and show it to him and ask him, this? You mean?
Sure. I saw something like that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you've had this dream yourself then, or?
Yes.
Dream... Huh.
I seem to be in the same place as you as well.
Well, yes, I should think so.
it seems that our dream team is bound not only by dream but by destiny.
Unless maybe it's all some kind of weird conspiracy concocted by well, I can think of several assholes back home, actually.
I'll be honest, it's rare that I'm in a room with myself, so this must be destiny.
Well, if you have any interest understanding where those come from, that's actually what we're looking for. Understanding a bit more what it is and why we're having those. And the best lead we might have at the moment is this severed king that our honey friends was mentioning.
Hey, that's a bit insulting. Or, well...
I mean, Kriv, with all due respect, you have all the definition possible of Oni.
Well, I'm saying it's completely true, but it's still insulting to say it like that.
God.
Learn some manners. Oh well, fine. Hi,
I mean, you have horns.
What?
You have horns.
I do.
Or horns. Sorry, Riz, I'm French, so excuse me for my English.
Yeah,
that might be very bad at some point. Just so you know, Kai.
We're used to bad English. We speak it natively.
Yeah. So you're looking for these king pieces, these remnants. I haven't really... It's not something I involve myself with usually, but since we seem to be bound by destiny, I might be interested in helping you find those.
Right. Well, we found. It's called both the One True King or the Severed King. Several titles. not sure which one is the one Drew Severed King might be the most correct one, maybe.
So, all of you notice as you keep saying these words, an individual kind of on the other side of the room has gotten more and more and more and more tense and has like very mechanically stood out and tried walking out.
Hey
As
there!
we were saying,
I am very...
Is this our weather seeker, or is it just like somebody
Just
who's
a
also
random
there?
person. A random
okay.
person, yeah. The weather seeker. Uh-oh.
Why don't
When the
you come over
meteorologist
here?
runs, run.
Yeah.
is there? So, it's been working and getting tense and working out in the mansion of the Severed King and True King.
This entire conversation, yeah.
Okay. I will
that?
test message. I will test message to him. Hey, what were you afraid of? We're nice people.
I am not afraid of anything. And just keeps walking.
Well, how good. Why don't you come over and have a drink with us then?
I gotta piss.
Does he look like?
I need to piss
That-
as well. I'll come with you then.
Is his face is like these people are crazy, or he's like, oh no?
Oh, he
no.
looks terrified. Looks
Just-
completely terrified.
Just to clarify, because you used the message spell, we just see you point at this poor guy and then just
Yeah.
start following him.
I didn't use the
Yes.
messaging spell.
But he did say out loud, I gotta piss. And just...
And then you just follow him while pointing at him.
Jesus Christ.
He tries to break away and run down the street from you all.
I'm running after him.
I run after him also.
I'm
Kyle
just gonna sit
quickly
here.
gets ahead of him, and Creve, gink, right to his side. Both of you are faster than this guy. And he looks around.
Hello.
I don't have any problems with your people, okay?
no, we don't have that either. But we'd
He
like
seems to be
speak-
missing his ring finger, by the way.
I'd like to speak with you a little bit.
Listen, I already apologized last time. I paid forward. Are we done?
Okay.
Man, we just want to buy you a drink.
Okay, I'm going to try and like persuade him to calm down a bit. Just relax. We're not looking to harm you, but it seemed you were aware of some of the things we spoke about back there, and
I forgot about all of that the moment I left. I promise. I forgot about it all. It's out of my head. Gone. Forever. Not caring about none of it anymore.
right. Well, there may be something in it for you if you tell us what you know.
Kyle, you need to insight?
No, but just what I want to figure out is he living because he's frightened, or is he living because he wants to go and tell other people about what?
Oh, he's afraid. He's like legitimately afraid.
I'm just in the background playing the flute, like a background music, like you know the bad kazoo covers of songs.
You all do notice that the guards have taken attention to what's going on here, and he looks at them, looks at all of you guys, and goes, all right, we get a drink, and I don't scream for the guards, okay?
Yes, that's all.
That's our proposal.
Yeah. He like keeps looking at the two of you. Tension has rippled across his spine, 100%. Like there is not a muscle in this guy's body that is not on edge right now. As you all walk back in there, Reese, interesting folk.
Yeah, just watched this happen, let them leave, kept playing, and they came back with the person. This is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that while you have a old elderly guy drinking tea at the table, and probably making smiling at you, giving you good piece of advices about his life and his own experience. That's
Yeah.
Rurik.
Absolutely.
With a dog. But
Yeah.
anyways, you get back in there, and I assume you positioned him between you all.
Yeah.
He'll sit down, and the kobold walks over with a cup.
I give a silver to the kobold.
He takes the cup and just like shakily drinks it and puts it down. So what's wrong? I thought we had an understanding.
Well, I'm curious to understand why you get so anxious about what we were talking about, because I mean, it's not common knowledge. Why are you so tense?
He looks at you all. Fuck, you're not one of them, are you?
Oh, who?
Not one of what?
People who belong to the Hand.
That is probably something I've heard of.
In these parts, the Hand is a newer group of cultists in the area. They abide by all the rules. They follow them to the T, but they have had a couple of suspicions of people disappearing when they enter into their territory in town.
Celia would be like, holding a small piece of paper like a cue card and showing it to the guy. Don't worry. Then to the other side paper, then you is absolutely harmless. Just trying to calm the guy down in the most not caring way.
Yes.
Oh shit! I am so sorry. You guys might want to not talk about that stuff in public with the Hand around.
It's fine, we'll call it something else then. It seems simple enough.
Yeah.
Let's call it the big coconut, right? It seems fitting.
The hell's a coconut?
Perfect.
Big coconut. The whole coconut.
He takes another like very big sip. We gotta put the lime in the coconut. I hate you so much.
So is this are these people also looking for the coconut?
Looking for? They fucking worship it. Whole bunch of idiotic pricks.
Worship it like is it
Coconut worshippers.
Is it the Hand of the coconut that they worship?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright, we're getting somewhere now.
Yeah.
You know an awful lot about this.
I new to town and went through the recruiting process and didn't much like the outcome, so I decided to leave, and in order to do that, they have to he shows you the missing ring finger. Take a piece of you to know that you're not gonna go against them.
Well, people make mistakes. At least you managed to get it out with most of your body parts.
You still do a lot with just 3 fingers, you know.
Well, do they have this hand in their possession?
No. They maybe I've never seen it. Upon completing their recruitment process, they were gonna take me to where the Hand lies and show me the power of their king. Yeah.
How many are they? Do you know?
I have no idea. I mean, there was at least 6 during like the hazing part.
So, these coconut cultists or whatever you like call them, are they like actively going out and killing people, or what do they do?
I really don't want to get mixed up with all of this stuff. I mean, it's not really any of my business. What they do.
Of course.
Out of character, just so you know, Kai, if you
Uh-huh.
want to start making bridges, if you want, there seems like the person we're following the tracks is Delilah Briarwood. So if you followed Critical Role, you probably know who she is. And she followed the tracks of the True King, but she's also starting a cult of Vecna.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
so
Kai's familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it for the character stuff.
Oh, okay. Just to give you the context of the group, as we might not like give you a lot yet.
It's okay.
Right. So the thing is, you want to avoid these people, right? And we want to learn more about them.
Fuck me. Man, could I just get a goddamn break?
I mean, you don't need to harass him if he doesn't want to tell you. If you're willing to pay, there's always other people that has information.
You could just point us to them. We'll leave you alone.
How much do you want?
200
200 what?
gold.
Oh.
100.
150. And he sticks his hand out to you.
130, and we don't tell your cultists.
75 and we don't hand you over to the guards.
Ooh, intimidation with assistance. Oh.
Yeah.
Is that with advantage?
Yep, you're being assisted.
All right. 24.
75 sounds great, and you forget my face and never speak to me again. Eh?
Yeah, you don't want to go with them because then the hand will hunt you down and kill them, huh? Yeah? No?
Yeah.
All right, 75 it is.
Yeah.
I'll ante up like 20 of it if somebody wants to help.
Yeah, I'll
Take it out from the party loot.
Yeah.
55.
Keep it from your pocket. The group will pay.
Yeah.
It will be 28.
Alrighty. He takes the gold and leans forward. The hand operates over in the southwest part of the garrison. They own most of the guards that move in and around that area as well. Of course, not officially. It's just they get away with literal murder, if they wish. And there's 6 of them. One is a odd-looking, hair-faced and smooth-over nose woman with she only has 4 fingers on each hand and hair all over head to toe. She's the one who recruits people. Looks really nice. Warm, welcoming, gives you good food as well.
All right. So she's the
The other
recruiter.
5?
What'd you ask, Kyle?
The other 5.
One's Goliath, but I haven't seen him around town in, well, 3 weeks. The other is this nerdy-looking half-elf person who he's currently missing side of his face as it's bandaged up, presumably from some thing that happened. And the last one's just this nerdy, broody-looking, not broody, just human. They all seem to answer to him. The others, you never really get a look at their faces. They keep themselves shrouded. They're more of the security of everything. They operate around that entire sector of town without any interruptions at all. And they told me they were going to be taking me up north, deep into the rest, in order to find the location of the hand to show me its power.
Well, that
Here
wasn't
we
so
go.
hard, was it?
Yeah,
Don't
takes
even
its
remember
cool.
your face. Who are you anyway?
Well, then I'll piss off like a good stranger should. And gets up and heads out.
I wish there were more people like that person in the world.
What,
Make it so
terrified?
much easier.
Hmm.
You know, once I'm done with it, maybe.
Right. Okay, so we should be on the lookout for one unfingered lady, as it were. The Goliath man.
Oh, it's good. Puppy is priority number 1. But anyways, with all of this new bits of information and all of you having an idea of what you're going to go do, I think this is a perfect place for us to go ahead and go on break. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. Before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us out oh so very, very much when you do that. In addition to that, if you are interested in supporting the channel even further, you can consider becoming a member on YouTube, where you will get benefits eventually, I promise. It's just currently I'm trying to figure out exactly what those benefits will be. In addition to that, if you want to support us a little bit more than that, but also gain some immediate benefits, consider joining our Patreon. Link to that is down in the description below. It gets you into our private Discord server, get to hang out with all of us, participate in many of our things. One thing that we are doing is karaoke tomorrow night. If you want to celebrate 5 years of me creating the new Embrace universe, join us. I mean, that's what we're doing. It's going to be off stream, so don't worry. We're all terrible at singing. It's going to be fantastic. We're doing it over Zoom, so you can join on in so long as you're already on the Patreon. And if you're interested in joining any of our games, we do have open slots available. Be sure to reach out to me if you are interested in any of them through Patreon, through Twitter, anything like that, and I'll get you set up. Hello, players. Welcome back. Where last we left off, the party had arrived in New Haxon and picked up on a very tense militarization that this town in particular is beholden to. And after getting investigated and learning a little bit about, oh, god damn it, I hate you. After going ahead and setting up, after arriving in New Haxon, you all successfully got patted down and then found your way over to a little shop, a little, kind of inn of sorts. Not really, kind of a bar, just an open patio bar, where you sat down, began discussing, and noticed a very odd reacting individual who rolled a natural 1 on their stealth check to sneak away, while you guys were having this conversation. You forced them to come back and hang out with you all, as you then discussed a very possible way that they could be forgotten about if they tell you everything that they know about what you all were discussing, the true king. And apparently there's a group of people referred to as the Hand that they are kind of, what do we say? Worshipping an aspect of this true king that all of you seem to be curious about. Before all of this, of course, you came across an individual that Celia recognized as a fellow bard of sorts, that immediately put them into a more trusting situation of one another, named Reese. And Reese, of course, seemed to share that same mingled dream with several of you inside of this. Boom! Name drop. We did it. And now you all are deciding what you're going to do with this information as the Wind Scribe comes back. Reese, you recognize him. He moves on in here, a tiefling individual with jewelry that just is pierced all over their body and dangling off of them. Open shirt, no real type of armament on their body whatsoever, and last time you attempted, you counted 16 piercings from the top of their head down to what you can see. And they walk back in and see you hanging out with everybody and just smile. Well, hey there.
Oh, what was their name?
Oh, yes. This one is Tycoon.
Was your break restful?
Very. Unfortunately, we got a little bit of shocking news out there. But here you go. The weather. Yes?
Oh, no, Reese doesn't even, like, Reese is still looking at this tiefling.
Yeah.
Trying to count piercings again.
They hand you a piece of paper, and you're like, oh, there's a new one right in between the fingers, like, apparently. There you go.
Perfect.
That should be everything within the next 24 hours, and thank you for your considerable donation. Hey. Looks at everybody else. Looks at you, Celia. Hey. And then just heads back over to their corner.
Hello.
So, over under on how many piercings you think they have? I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere around 20.
Probably more if you count.
Yeah.
If you count the ones between his fingers, yeah, it should be more.
It should be more.
I think it's around 39.
39. I think.
Unless you open his shirt fully, you'll never know.
It's true.
You hear Ty from across the tavern. 38! Good guess! I rolled a percentile die, yeah.
I'll just give him a thumbs up.
One day I hope to see them all. Alright, so let's see the weather. And I'll open up that paper and share it with the group.
Roll me 3d9.
3d9.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a normal D10 then, because 0 to 9.
Nice. 16.
8.
Or 8, 1, and 7.
Out towards the further west, there is an encroaching colony of toxic fungus that has been rolling down the mountains into the area. That's going to be fairly uncomfortable for anybody who has to go westwards in that direction. Yeah, toxic fungus colony at the west. Go ahead and type that down. The earth motes seem to be moving around towards the north considerably more at this point in time, and a few new ones have recently erupted, which means they're moving, which is very dangerous because some of these chunks are up to 60 feet in diameter, and they can crash into one another with like large explosions. If they just so happen to move around those areas. But that's to the north. So if you're heading that direction, that's what you might run into. And then you rolled a 7, right? The static area is going to be swept over by some rust rain. As in, just moves across the location at some point tomorrow. Which is very bad for anybody wearing non-magical metal equipment on their person. Typical individuals, they're perfectly fine. But that's why you have that one spell in particular, just in case.
So,
Detection.
these things seem fine. We're moving north. And unless we want to wait 2 days and then get more weather, we should do it soon before this rain comes.
I wonder. Yeah, the rain will be a problem. I don't know if the rest of you are prepared for it.
Well, I mean, if the weather is against us, we could always stay in town for a little bit and look into this coconut cult.
Oh.
Regarding the rain, I bought a big cloak specifically for this situation.
Krief, please mute while eating. Thank you.
So, I mean, I've got all the time on my hands. Are we just staying in town for a bit, searching this out while we wait for the weather to get better? Or are we going to risk it?
I have this feeling that this hand is worshipping maybe what we are actually looking for up north. It has everything leads to that, so there's no way we can be better prepared than if we actually know what we are going to face. And if we go out and interrogate and find out this cult, maybe we can find out more information before we jump into the lion's den.
I'm wondering if the good weather, or better weather than whatever this mess is, benefits them as well. Maybe we can take advantage of the bad weather.
I agree.
Yeah, probably. It's a double-edged sword after all, so it could be beneficial for us as it is for them.
Well,
Do you think they canceled their ceremony on account of restraint?
And if they do it indoors, probably not.
we have, well, the way I see it, we have several options here. We could, of course, just travel out and see what we find, but the guys said they had at least 2 operatives here in town. The flat-nosed lady with 3 fingers and a Goliath man of some sort.
Well, the Goliath haven't been seen in 3 weeks. There is a nerdy half-elf with a bandage on his face, and apparently the human with their boss
Right.
leading the group.
Well, I mean, if we manage to track down one of them, we could, we could, of course, try and shadow them for a little bit, see if they lead us back to the rest, or we could go up to them and say that, hi, we want to be recruited into your crazy cult, or something thereabouts.
Yeah, sleuthing around for it would be annoying since the guards are with them as well, so...
Ty will whistle at you all from across the open area. Talks of conflict off the premises, please. Thank you.
Right. Oh well, we could always take a breather and buy some supplies to prepare all of you for the weather here, at least. Since a poncho could easily cover up most of your metallic wares on the surface, unless you take it out. And I assume you all probably want some magical things. I don't know how much your budget is, but there's a variety of interesting knickknacks and artifacts here for sale if you're willing to just walk around.
So, you mean you can purchase augments here? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, they're made here very often. Also, one thing I forgot to bring up since it affects this party directly, I am going to institute a new rule in the augmentation system. If you have a spell scroll that is just imbued with a specific level of spell of a specific class, you can use that in place of being the specific spellcaster for crafting your augment. So, because this party no longer has a high-level intelligence caster or wisdom caster, I think this is the great time for me to experiment with this. So, if you need to make items, you still can. You just need to purchase scrolls to do it as well. It's a bit more expensive, but that's what happens when you can't do it yourself.
Charisma party.
Yeah. At least you can talk down the shop owners.
Oh, goodness. What do you
Hey,
think
I have
that...
an
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
What do you think those coconut cultists would do with a... and Reese will point between him and Celia, a couple of people like us. They found out.
Just a casual flick of the fingers at the neck, aka
If we're
dead.
lucky.
Mhm.
I mean... I've joined worse things, I suppose, for the... trying to find information, but this seems a little risky, huh?
Well, from my experience, anything that labels itself as a cult is always bad idea, and
Mm,
something very well steer clear away from.
yeah. I don't actually like that they're so sort of into the guards here. It seem like it should be separated a little bit, right?
People have their
Seems-
own interests, and
Mm,
as usual, money talks one way or
money does
another.
talk.
Money and power. And
Money
New
will talk.
Haxon has its own. New Haxon has its own. The strong eats the weak rule. So
Money may
Well-
talk, but tyranny will always fall.
That could be part of the reason also why they asked us when we arrived about the religious paraphernalia or iconography we might have.
mhm.
Maybe.
Well, best
if
off
this-
putting it away from plain sight.
Yes, but well, I mean, if we want to get in touch with this cult, then could be a way to make ourselves bait, as it were, and have them fish us up.
We can discuss it while we're walking, assuming if you guys wish to purchase anything, since continuing this any longer would probably get us more than a stink eye on most other patrons here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Reese is gonna go over to a clothing shop and see something that he likes in the window, and then just use the glamour aspect of his armor to change it into that item.
What is your command word?
Yeah.
I think it's actually. Oh, yeah. I suppose it needs a command
Yes.
word.
You could go with the static one, which is always fabulous.
Voila, that's the one.
I like voila, to be honest.
Voila. And you're wearing a completely different outfit now.
I like that. Just walk away.
Oh, convenient.
The shop owners around here fucking hate you.
I definitely need to get me one of those.
Best augment in
So
the
I
entire
s-
game.
I know, right? I assume the rest of them want to find an augment, kill and grieve.
Why do you want to find an augment?
Nah, I'm just asking them if they want to find an augment or they want to just purchase random supplies or.
Well, can we
Anything.
get spend like a little bit of time and just walking around, see what sort of augments are easily available, and if we can purchase them for a reasonable price?
You can certainly try. So how are you going about this? Are you just walking around looking for anything that might be nice, that might be for sale, or are you taking a different means to try to find what you're looking for?
You mean by different means?
I mean, there's a rogue in the party.
Eh,
Like,
Thieves can, but a rogue can.
exactly.
There is. So I don't know if you guys are looking for something. There is something that might interest me, and that is a standard augment, which is a level 2 augment of haste. This is something that can be casted standard, because haste is a 3rd level spell, and there is a stuff that in the augment, like you can just say, I created.
So what way are we going about finding this? That's the same question we're on.
Well, I'm
Okay, that's way.
I'm going to ritually cast detect magic and walk around in the market district if there is one, and
There is?
yeah, home in on where the most magical items are.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation, please.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yep.
You said you're
Well,
doing
it's-
detect magic though, so not the
Yeah,
plus
so
one.
it's not guidance. Yeah.
So 23. As you're walking through, you do come across a couple of bazaars that seem to have magic in the back of their shop, not really on the front area accessible to people. And as you kind of like start tilting your head in, the shopkeep's always like move directly over in front of you, and you're interested in something.
Well, it seems to me that you might be familiar with something called augment, right?
Right.
So, which ones do you have available? And I'm sure we could find a reasonable deal.
We don't have anything like augments in this shop in particular. However, we do have a couple of other choice things you might be interested in. For instance, do you want yourself a non-absorbent poncho?
Sure, that would be
100 gold.
All right. How many of these do you have available?
I could get you as many as you really need, honestly. Enough for a small fleet, at least. Just might take me a little longer than right now.
Right, I see.
If you
Well,
ask him
I'll
right
take-
now, roll me a d6.
All right.
If you ask me right now, I got one.
Right. Well, I'll take that one then.
100 gold.
Deal.
And congratulations, you have a poncho. It weighs 15 pounds. Yes, it is heavy, but it is non-absorbent, which means it will not take on any of the rust. The problem with wearing a cloak is it will absorb the rust rain and then seep into your armor and equipment.
Mhm.
So yeah.
All right.
Now-
So,
Do you need a little bit of water on your travel?
well, sure, but apart from the mundane, well, halfway mundane things, what sort of magical items do you have available?
I just asked you. You interested in a cup of water? What if it was also wine? Holds up a canteen.
Well, that is a very good.
5 gallons
my-
a day. Any drinkable liquid.
Ooh. Well,
Mayonnaise included.
a demonstration is in order. I would say.
Of course. Good money, always worth it. Pulls out a couple of cups and pours water into one and then pours wine into the other.
Tastes both of them.
The water certainly tastes like water. I mean, not like the, fresh, crisp, snow-covered mountaintop water or anything like that. It's water. And the wine tastes like what you would assume a poor person would think good wine tastes like box wine, but like
Yeah.
high-quality box wine,
Yeah.
Maybe some Yellowfoot.
Right. Well, this would it will do in a pinch, I suppose. So how much do you take for this then?
This one is going to run you a little bit pricier, of course. In this area, you got to survive how you got to survive. 250 gold.
Right.
10 gallons a day.
Yes, well, I will have to get back to you on that and
Sure thing.
check with my accountant, as it were.
What about a magic bean?
Bean, yes, what does that
Yeah.
do?
Depends what you do with it.
Well, where has it been?
You think you're funny, don't you?
I do. Well,
Okay.
sometimes.
Somebody
Not
has
always.
to. Somebody has to.
My jokes are more quantity than quality, for the most part.
So, he
Why
pulls
do
out a
that?
small pouch and pulls out an itty-bitty little looking lima bean. Well, you can either throw it on the ground somewhere and it will explode with a little burst a fire, or you can plant it and after a minute see what the fuck happens. Not quite sure what happens. A lot of things, apparently. But I
And how
tested
much
the
for that
explodey
then?
pot. For the single bean, you're looking at about 200 gold. It could be anything when you plant it.
I see. Well, so, and you said 200 also for the wineskin, right?
Thought my lips said 250, but I think if you buy both, I could do 200 on it.
Right. So, and even 350 for the both of them then.
And even 400, you mean?
Well, maybe. Well, it doesn't seem to me like you have too many customers here, so.
We get plenty enough, no problem. Not to mention, you need to get this stuff to survive out there, which I'm assuming you're heading towards, aren't you?
Well, who knows? Let's see. Let's say 380 then.
Roll a persuasion.
Yeah.
Sorry, boss, but no chance that I think you're going to be a repeat customer. We're going to stick to 400.
All right.
You have to understand, if there was an investment of thinking you'd come back, maybe.
Well, you might be surprised.
Hopefully. I love
I'll be
repeat
back
customers.
back in a little while then,
Sure.
and I'll go back to.
Investigating.
I'm not
that.
sure who's actually carrying the bag of holding with our party loot and stuff.
Good question. Who are you going to trust with the bag of holding to watch it?
Probably Rurik.
Rurik.
Fine. And Rorik's just holed up in that same shop talking to everybody about, how they could be better people and, how it's really worth it to be a better person. So, if you need money, you just run past Rorik. Hey! Hi! But anyways, was anybody going with Kyle?
Not me.
I'll go with Kyle. I think I might be able to help find what he's looking for.
Very well. Reese, you notice very quickly that Kyle is not really looking in the shops, but on the outsides of them for particular bits of signatures, markings, things like that. And Kyle, you begin to discern the location of a potential fence in this area. A quaint, little tiny espresso shop. They sell some basic pastries and espresso. And you discern that this might be where a good fence might be available in town who could more than likely point you in any direction you need to go.
Is there any markings around like the area to specify who I should talk to within the shop? Specific message I need to say?
They usually don't do stuff like that. Usually you have to use your thieves' cant to see if anybody recognizes the language to get in contact with them.
Okay. I walk in and start babbling stuff in Sivkans. A message about bananas and bananas. How do you pronounce that in English?
Bananas? Bananas? Yeah,
bananas I know, but this one I just wrote.
Pineapple.
Pineapple. Yeah. All right. I don't know. This is a French word for pineapple.
Yeah, sorry. Binab. Okay.
Sorry.
Sure.
I was just trying to say, it just didn't feel correct.
You walk in the shop. Hi, sir. I would like a pineapple. If you have any. But anyways, you come inside. The two of you sit down at the table, and Reese, I mean, this looks like a typical establishment that might have access to things like this. And of course, both of you are given a shot of espresso and a small biscuit. And for all of you American folks, we're going with the British biscuits, which are sweet, savory, and delicious. And of course, after he hands those over to you, that'll run you about 20 gold, sir.
Just the coffee or access the ananas, the pineapples?
That's thieves' cant for you have to pay to talk. So if you want to talk to somebody, you have to show you're serious. 20 gold.
Yeah, 20 gold is from my pocket.
Thank you very much, sir. They tuck it into their pouch and go back over, and a few moments later, you see a half-orc woman just moves on inside and sits at a table with their back over towards you. And they're given a cup of espresso. They reach across your table and pluck your cookie and put it on their table. Well, you're new to town. What are you looking for?
Hey, looking for some, what I would call it, augments?
You're looking for good quality magic then, huh?
Yeah.
Are you looking for anything in particular, or are you interested in inventory?
There is something I'm looking for, but I would be curious to know your inventory.
Well, right now we have some good quality augments at our disposal. Just things to sturdy you up a little bit. Make sure you don't bump into too much trouble out there, and if you do, it's a little harder for them to get to you. We're also currently in possession of a handful of different zappy bits, frosty bits, and releasing bits, if you're looking for any of those. And I think we currently have at our disposal a couple of, how do I put this, explosive components. They take a deep sip of their espresso.
So in sorry, just so I understand, in mechanical way, like what augments do you say, like zappy bit? I think it's like lighting damage.
So they have the shrapnel augment, which is rare.
Okay, sure.
They have the zap augment. They have the releasing augment, and they have a couple of quality augments currently.
Quality is
+1 AC,
+1
and saves. Only into armor.
What quality? Quality
Like I
plus
said,
one, quality plus...
+1.
Plus 2.
They said good
Okay.
quality, not great.
Well, there is great, super great then, although because there is a very rare.
I mean,
Okay, well, how much would be the quality one? Like I think of a couple of people wanting it.
Were you saying something, Reese?
I'll let this question go first. I'm trying to think of a way to word it.
Okay. Well, the quality ones, if you're looking for one of the two of them, we're looking to get rid of them for close to about 800 apiece. But if you end up getting both of them, we'll say a solid 1,500 for a first-time, potential last-time customer.
Okay. That's good to know. And well, didn't show up on the inventory, but would you happen to be in possession of some spell holding augments?
Not currently, but if you're looking to have one made for you, depending on what you want inside, or if you can put it in yourself, we might be able to set you up a little bit.
And how much would that cost me? to be set up that way.
Depends which way you want to do it. Do you have the spell you want to put into it first? Or do you need me to find someone who can do that for you?
Yeah, sadly I don't have the spell.
So-
I mean,
So if you need somebody to put it in there for you, are we talking a decent little party trick or something a bit more actively good?
something active. I want to run and strike fast.
Well, if you need us to gather up the creature in order to do it, and you can give us an exact date you'll be around, after the point that we find the creature, of course, we're looking at 2,400 gold. And it depends on what the spell is, even if I could find an individual to do it, but I can start looking around for you if you put your deposit down of 1,000 now.
Listen. What if I now take this couple of quality gems for me and my group, and you just start the research. I might have, next time I come around, the necessary creature and maybe even magical assets to do it. So if you can just point me towards someone who might have a scroll of this kind of capability, or who might know this spell, this would already be quite emphatic from you.
My time and my knowledge is valuable. If you want it, you gotta pay me for it. As much as I like
Obviously.
doing good business, of course, you still need to pay me if you need me to find an individual who has that spell already proposed. But if you're looking for a specific scroll that has it, well, you might be a little SOL on that one. We don't really get a whole lot of scrolls in these parts. They mostly sell them directly to the garrison.
Well, what about how the research alone would cost?
Why would I give away my valuable secrets to you?
To be
That
a
sounds
returning
like a-
customer.
Oh. Well, if you'd rather go with a different choice, feel free.
I'm not.
The pixie gals are quite amusing if you want to deal with any of them. And of course,
The
you
point
can always
is-
go with the hands if you really want to risk that business.
I mean, I didn't mean that. I don't want this knowledge now. I just want to be prepared in the case where that when I return, you would have this knowledge.
200
I'm not
gold,
asking
and
for
I'll
it.
ask around town to see if anybody has it. 200 gold. And I'll locate someone in town if there is someone to be located.
Mhm. And will it be taken out from the fee of the given augment?
Of
if I
course
actually
not.
Commission?
Of course not. But you're
Well-
asking for something special, boy. There's needs to be a special amount of treatment, right?
I do get it. Though, I don't understand why I would have. Well, all right.
Rice has just been Rice has just been eating his biscuit like it's popcorn watching this transaction go down.
Will you help me, for fuck's sake?
Welcome to
Hi,
road business.
Uh,
I'm not charismatic. You're the one who who sweet talk people. I can't do it.
I know. I
I
know
wasn't
this.
sure if-
I know this now. I didn't know this before, and now I know. And it's,
Also,
It's
I didn't know
obvious.
if.
it's very.
Also, I
obvious
didn't
now.
know if he dragged us along with him. So
Well, I
Riz-
asked who
Riz
went
did
along,
cover
and
me.
Reese was
Yeah.
the only one who spoke up.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sorry. Go ahead.
Celia, did you want to be there? You're muted if you're talking. All right, they didn't want to be there. Go ahead, Reese.
All right. What is it exactly that you're asking for?
I need to. I mean, this is a mage city, which is and this is probably the best place we'd ever find any kind of magic shenanigans, and I don't want to miss the occasion.
Yeah, and you're looking for the haste augment, yeah?
Except
Alright.
if you can already cast it, if you know it, that's perfect.
No, I don't, unfortunately. I've got no idea how to do that. But hold on one second. Let's earn some good. Let's earn some goodwill here. Do you want me to switch with you? Do you want to sort of Serrano de Bergerac this? What do you want to?
I'm perfectly comfortable sitting where I'm sitting while you two are having your conversation. We don't want anybody to know we're going to be seen together, do we?
Of course, not at all. I was just asking for... Can I get another biscuit over here? And Reese will pay another 20 gold as a show of good faith for her time.
The worker comes over and takes the gold and replenishes you a biscuit and fills both of you up with another shot of espresso, as well as her. And she gets and of course, she gets a biscuit. So what is it that you're looking for, lad?
Well, my friend here is looking for something that will make him go very fast. He likes
I
to...
picked up.
Yes. So we're willing to pay you for your time in doing this. I could say that we could absolutely get you some repeat customers. I'm with a very, very, we'll call them a happy organization that, honestly, we're looking for footholds in places like this. There's not a lot of us here, so that I've noticed, and I would love to start establishing something here.
Roll me a persuasion.
Sure. Not great. It's just an 11. Unfortunately, I can't Bardic Inspiration myself. Should have been Bardic Inspiration.
Not yet,
you,
at
but
least.
yeah, not yet.
Well, as much as I like the prospect of connecting with new organizations moving into town, I would need a bit of exclusivity when it comes to the acquisition of goods, of course.
Absolutely, that's exactly the way that I was thinking too.
And your business is very smiley, would you say?
Well, can't keep a grin off my face.
I thought I smelled one of you around here.
That's the gold. Has a very particular scent. This is something that I could forward to them as a potential, if you wanted to reach out a little bit more.
You still pay the 200 up front.
Of course.
But the Muddy Biscuit is going to be your primary source in this town. Make sure they're fully aware of that.
I can set the roadmap, like I said. We're hardly to be seen out here yet, and you can help us change that a little bit. That's just what my friend wants. I actually have a different question for you.
Well, let me finalize the deal on how it will work. You still have to pay the 200 up front, but it will be deducted from the 2,400 for the final product.
Okay. I understand. So it's a down payment.
Yeah. And that's just to locate somebody who can do it. The 24 is what you would pay to have them do it for you after they find a creature, kill the creature, bring it into town, find the gem, bring the gem, and then commission them to spend a week crafting it.
Of course. And what's the creature that we need to... Sorry, I just... brain just in one ear, out the other.
Yes, it's a CR 11 or higher. But they can take
Well,
care
no,
of that.
it-
That's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
It's a
I
rare
also-
augment. It's a rare augment.
It is a
Yeah,
rare
but
augment.
Jero, so if I read correctly, the fixed augment table, it's any humanoid in CR6 to do the first one, and then it just the uncommon stage and a amnetis value at 600. It doesn't specify a CR11 creature to do the second level.
Yeah, good point. However, where you are, you're not running into creatures below CR6 to begin with.
Yeah, but
So
if I can, my point
If
is
you
that
can
maybe
get a creature and bring it here, you didn't convey that. But if you can do that, that would definitely lower the price.
Yeah.
this was the sorry, it's my English. This was the whole point of the conversation, is that take the time now to get the information, and when I get
That's
back, I
200.
might have some stuff to lower the end price.
Okay. So, would you be needing an amethyst?
We'll be needing an amethyst because we don't have one yet, though we might find one. Where are we going?
So, if you are still needing the amethyst and you still need the lower level one, and they still need to find the individual, 2400 is actually kind of on par because you need a 1600 GP amethyst to even begin thinking about this. Let alone you have to pay the spellcaster a week of downtime.
I mean, like
So-
that's entirely fine. Like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's just I didn't
they'll
want
take the deal.
1,000 upfront.
They'll take the deal.
Nice.
So 200 GP as a down payment for this.
Mhm.
And when you get back, if they find who they're looking for, that'll be another 2,200, and wait a week and they'll get it done.
Yeah. That's all on you, because I do not have 200 for your thing.
I have what we were aiming for.
Perfect.
And I will also take the 2 quality plus 1 augments
For 1,500.
for 1,500. Yeah.
Yep. Total. 15 total.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Very good
I'll
for
take
you.
the 200 from my stuff and the 1,500 from the party loot. If it's fine
Well
for you
put.
guys.
Is that cool, everybody? I assume since it's going to the other two in the party, so, like...
I can only assume.
Yeah. All right.
We got beans, we got deals.
Yeah.
And wine.
Alrighty. Beans and wine. Or water, but
I do
wine.
want to ask them about one thing that I'm personally interested in, and I have no
Sure.
money for. So this is fun. And
Window
one more
shopping.
thing on my end, I'm actually very interested in. Well, you live here. The weather is interesting to say the least. And I heard that you have things to zap. Do you have anything to help with the zapping? Not the zapper, but the zappy, so to speak.
You're looking a way to not feel the effects of the electric wind so much.
I enjoy not getting electrocuted on a daily basis,
Well-
actually.
Luckily, if you don't wear anything overly metallic, you should be perfectly fine. Or at least keep it wrapped up in leathers and, nicer quality cloths, and it should be all right. As for avoiding it altogether, I'd suggest get yourself somebody walking around in very heavy metal, and it all goes towards them, preferably. But with the winds themselves, you want to be careful about making any ranged movements inside of there. That's when things get a little squirrely for you.
Interesting.
We did it, guys. Yeah, you need a conductor, Warwick.
We need a I'm thinking about like doing a Ben Franklin type of thing, putting something on a levitate because I have the spell levitate, and then we can put a string and hang like a metal thing from it.
I mean, that would certainly help, but you
It
need to
would
talk
catch
to an
the string
artificer.
on fire.
Yeah,
but-
you need to talk to an artificer for that, not
Yeah,
a dealer.
Of course. I was looking for something that granted like resistance and or Yeah.
Oh.
See, that's
you
what I'm
want
talking about.
resistance. Okay,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can.
Not the Zapper, but the
Well,
Zappy.
if you're looking specifically to get something like that, I can put out a work order for it. Though the amount of time it'll take to get here, not sure if you still need it after that.
That's fair
Things
enough.
like that are a bit more volatile to create. So, but if you're willing to pay for it, I can put out the bounty for it and just take my cut at the top.
I'll get back to you on that. We are short on time and about to be full of lightning, so...
Anyways, you can leave your coin in your cups after you're finished drinking them, and your items will be dropped into your pockets when you're round the corner.
Perfect. Thank you.
Of course. We'll be seeing you around.
Well, Kale, that wasn't that bad.
I hate talking to people. I prefer talk to books.
They don't talk back. Oh, I
All
see
the
what...
time.
Yeah, I understand that.
But anyways, I assume you walk around the corner, and Kyle, with your passive, you do pick up somebody who moves past you, gives you a quick wink, and puts 3 large gems into your pocket with a sleight of hand.
Nice.
So you remove the 1500 GP, another 200 GP, and then you're all good.
Why 3 gems?
Because
Two of
you...
you
Oh,
plus
sorry.
one.
Sorry,
two.
2 gems. Yes, that is correct.
You almost got away with 3 gems. Then
God
you
damn
said
it,
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know what would be the I don't
I'm
know
just
what would be
kidding.
the third one. So
Yeah, I forgot. She
Sorry,
has
that's
a
it. I messaged
shrapnel
you.
augment.
Damn. This is why we don't get the book one to do transactions. We don't get free stuff.
That was just a joke. Don't do that.
Excuse me, sir. I think you dropped this.
Hey.
Now I want to just play as a nice rogue who reverse pickpockets people. Like, just puts
Reverse
coins in their pockets, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
shy, and I don't really want to talk to anybody and give them charity, but here. Just... But anyways. Do you want to say... Celia, what were you doing?
I mean, originally I wanted to say just following one of them, but my internet fucked out, so I missed out like half the earlier conversations there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you're looking to
Nah,
make a
it's fine.
purchase, they do have a zapped augment and a releasing augment, as well as a shrapnel augment still for sale.
I mean, I don't mind the augments as much since I have like what do you call it? Most of it already. But yeah, if it is so, since for the proofing, what do you call it? Non-absorbent glue, I probably already have it in my small home here, the dorm home. I have
Oh,
to
you
double
mean
check
the
though.
poncho?
Yeah.
Okay, the non-absorbent poncho, then remove 100 GP. That's what it would run with.
I have to double check though. Like, would the artifact researchers here be affiliated with the garrison?
Sometimes. Most of the time, they're related to the Empire. And then there's also private collectors, private dealers, private militia. You know, sometimes.
All right. Then I'll be nearby Creve and just wait for everyone to gather before visiting the one that one of my friends have.
Wonderful. Bink!
Yeah.
Everybody's back together. Hey! You guys did some shopping.
Hey. So,
Are you
everyone
meeting
got
up at
what
the
they
same
want?
place? Tie shop?
Nah. The guy's gonna cry if you keep doing conspiracy theories in his place again.
Hey, so long as you don't talk about conflict, he don't care. He wants out. He doesn't want in.
Mm-hmm.
So you meet up at a different tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call it the Low Life Tavern.
E.
Bing! You're all together.
So-
Hey, there you go.
So I assume you all have everything you wanted.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I got this.
Here, Kriv.
What?
I bought that for you. I thought that might interest you.
Oh,
You bought a nice armor and you gave me the old one, so I think like this might suit you. And I give you the quality augment.
oh, well, thank you very much. I haven't been able
Thank
to
you
find
very
anything fitting for my new armor yet, so boop, I put it into one of my slots.
All right. Over the next hour, but yeah. It just
Yeah.
takes you a third level spell slot.
All right, yeah.
It takes a spell slot to put an augment into something.
Yes, it does, but it's not third. It takes you a first level spell slot to put it in.
Okay.
And a short rest. It's just to make it so there is consequences for quick swapping in the middle of a day for combat and stuff,
Yeah.
you know? You have to think about it.
Mm-hmm. So, where would be our next destination anyway, specifically?
Well, that's up to. Still need to decide if we're going to go and try to get a head start on reaching the north and finding the hand, or we can go to the garrison first, try to get information on it, or try to join
yeah,
them, which I just don't
yes,
like
I was
that. I don't
curious
like that at
about,
all.
since if we're going out of town, are we going west, south, north?
North.
North to
I
Anywhere
met with
specific?
one of the
Yeah.
shopkeepers had this poncho thing that would be very useful. He said he might be able to get more, but he only had one in stock. So it's supposed to protect against the rust and I
Mhm.
believe also the electrical weather thing.
Yeah, those kind of the non-absorbent clothing are pretty popular here since it's the easiest way to protect yourself.
You know, the fence that we talked to offered that we just wrap things in leather. I think that'll work for both things.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Rather than
yeah.
spend money on some.
Well, the
cloak.
poncho is more for you to wear over your own person. The leather wrappings are focused more on your equipment since
Mhm.
it's easier that way.
I like nice things wrapped in leather.
Of course.
I can.
I look at Celia.
I can work some stuff on leather. I worked a bit on how to do leathery stuff. I can. I could provide for you, Crave, if you have specific inquiries.
Well, I don't have any special needs at this point. Well, I have some, but
So
beside the point.
I mean, the decision we need to make is: do we want to investigate these ends in New Axon, or do we just want to travel up north and find what we might find?
I do believe our unnamed informant gave us at least a name of like a geographic location in the north that they were being taken to. Unfortunately, I did not take the specific note
The
on
rest.
that one. Yeah, so we
The
know
rest.
where we're going,
Which is an expansive landscape out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
just
yeah.
not specifics. So we might need to do a little bit of
Well, I'd say
espionage.
I'd say it's better to stay here, maybe 1 or 2 days extra, and try and investigate as much as we can instead of heading out into the wilderness and hoping to find what we're looking for. I mean, we might waste several days just walking around instead of going directly there if we have the right information from here.
Actually, so you know the tomb the area that Delilah was talking about in her books. Well, I've already been there. So I am pretty sure I can find again where it is.
How many
This is assuming
days? Yeah,
the landscape doesn't shift.
true. How many days would you think that would take?
Well, the last time I went through the mountain directly from Rossona, but I don't know, maybe a couple of days through the rest.
Survival check. You have to keep in mind, even as a rogue, you don't move nearly as fast moving through this area because you have to be very vigilant, very careful, sometimes stop, sometimes walk completely around phenomenons that are happening in the area. It could be 2 days, it could also be a week and a half.
So it could be 2 days up to 10. It depends on the weather, it depends on the area, it depends on a lot of
Yeah,
things.
or whether we like it or not. If that's the case, then we'll end up facing the rust rains and lightning storms no matter what. So that's a point to consider at least. But I mean, if you're really focusing on the main issue of that, it's better to set off once you're prepared with supplies. If you truly want to discover this whole she does the fingers echo thing, cult thing, that would take a lot more groundwork and a lot more time here rather than just a passing interest. And whether you like it or not, it's better to not be too involved in anything that involves the garrison, since it's a thin line to tread.
Well, I sort of agree, but
anything.
I think, well, if we're trying to assemble these pieces of the coconut, we might have to look into the garrison and this cult at some point anyway. It certainly seems like they have some sort of connection to this thing, and if, like the man said, that they have this hand, then
Well, considering like over half of the people were disappeared or something, it's a safe bet the thing is not even here. It's probably where you all plan to head.
it could be.
So how
So go ahead. Nah, go ahead.
Kyle, how sure are you that you can find this place?
10 over 20? I mean, my once we cross the rest and we are up north near the mountains, I shouldn't have much issue to find that place. It's just like the higher probability is to get lost within the rest.
And then is it worth it to try to maybe follow our coconut friends from a safe distance as they find it and use your knowledge as backup?
Yeah, but it means that we need to find those coconut cultists beforehand.
Well, we have intel on a couple of them already. I just don't want to
Well,
be on the way there and then find out that we're both in the same place at the same time. You know?
well, knowing the place, it's not a good place for them. More than it is for us.
Hmm.
Well, except they are like specific deals with coconut that makes the place an happier place, but
Yeah. All right, well. I'm happy with whatever we choose to do. I just want to get things moving quickly.
Right.
True. Yeah, if we truly wish to journey, we better set out when the weather's calm, so we have a lot more confirmation on our pace and how we adapt towards the traveling in this hostile area, since I'm sure most of you are not familiar with this area well enough to have a somewhat relaxing trip at this kind of nice weather comparatively to the uncommon happenings.
Right. Well, let's decide then. Which is it?
All right, everybody, type out in chat which one you would prefer. If it is a tie, then I will roll a die and we'll go with that one. Do you want to be stalkers or do you want to be leaders? All right, we have 2 for stalk. 3 for stalk. All right, y'all. You're about to prove exactly why expertise in stealth is so fucking good in 5e.
do you use that?
We're beanstalks.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate you all so much.
Expertise in stealth, pass without a trace, 40 average in the bloody stealth check.
Just so everyone knows, I'm giving up the scabbard of weaving proficiency if anyone wants it.
Weaving.
And I'm giving up the
Like basket weaving?
Like,
blindness,
well,
deafness.
yeah.
weaving tools.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a
no,
tool
no,
bag augment.
clothes. I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you gain proficiency in weavers, which means you can fix flags, pants, clothing, weave baskets, yes. But, you know, there's a lot more application, and it is a very good skill to have. I don't care what anybody says. You can make
Feels
foot
like we
booties.
could get a bunch of leather scraps and weave together some of our own non-absorbent cloaks with them.
I actually I'm proficient in leather work too, so I could do it
We
as a
should-
leather worker.
Yeah, and we should also have a banner for the dream team.
I mean,
The weavers has to go into not armor specifically. Not armor, not shield. So it
So
can
the
go into
blindness
spell
of-
focuses, boots,
Scabbard?
trinkets.
It's
I'm
not
taking
an
the first
augment,
one.
is it? It's a scabbard.
Well, the augment
No,
is
no,
in
it's
the
an
scabbard.
augment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just attuned to the scabbard to gain the benefit. Because
Okay.
originally it had returning in it, which I'm not sure which of you has
Mhm.
returning right now.
No, we traded it
we
in,
changed it.
remember?
Oh yeah, you got rid of returning. One of the best augments.
I know, right? Dagger.
Well, I'm taking the blindness and deafness thing from Kale and I'm putting it into my amulet.
Very well.
Is
Is anybody
putting
taking
the
weaving,
plus
or
one.
are you putting it into the party loot?
I'll put it in party loot if no one's taking it.
Very well.
Are you editing?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Just I'm adding the blindness deafness thing right now. How does that work again? Is it once per day or how's the?
It's a once per day casting of the spell. Concentration comes from the augment itself, not you, and casting comes from the augment, not you.
I would take the Weaver's tools, but like, so thinking about it, if a thing is selling for 100 gold pieces for a non-absorbent cloak, that's like 50 gold pieces for material, because you generally double it for the cost of, and it takes it like each long or day downtime spent crafting is just 5 gold pieces worth. So we can't do it by tomorrow. It would take 10 days to craft one and the materials. So.
Well, it's a common magical item, so it takes 4 hours to craft one. It's a common magical item.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then
it's on par with the Cloak of Bellowing.
Oh, Cloak of Bellowing, or a potion of healing. Then I will take the scabbard and attune to it, and I'll make my own absorbent cloak. For the rest of the day.
Creve, are you keeping the scabbard for the slot?
Oh, are you keeping the?
No, you can have the scabbard as well.
Oh, fuck.
Oh shit! Sorry. My phone. I'm just gonna put you on silent. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. That was a very it was super. That was a lot. Sorry.
But Creve, what were you saying? Are you keeping the scabbard or?
No, you can have the scabbard.
Okay. So yeah.
And you're also getting 2 bolts of cloth if you want them. 1 red and 1 white.
Oh, thanks. I'll figure out something to do with those.
Reese, keep in mind you have to be attuned to each masterworked item you have. The scabbard is a masterwork scabbard.
Yeah, I have attunement space for it.
Cool.
I only have 1 masterwork, so maybe 2.
You only have. Oh yeah, do you have both of them in the same item? I thought they were both in different items.
I put them both in the bow.
Can the one go into a bow? I'm not sure.
I have an empty slot in the bow and 1 slot in the bow, and that's the only masterwork one I have. And then I have the 2 uncommon 1-slot ones.
Glamored has to go into your armor.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, so you're attuned to 2 of them. The bow.
Yeah, then I still have
has
attunement
the other
slot.
one. Yes, okay. I'm just making sure we keep in mind because Glamored only works in the armor it's in.
Yeah.
About the blindness deafness thing, did you say it had its own DC or was it?
It does have its own DC.
All right, yeah, and that was 15, I believe. Or...
Let's look at. Oh, yeah, he had it written down. So yeah, 15. Yep. Sounds right.
All right.
All right, so everybody makes your trades and your swaps, and Reese, you now know the intricate design of different clothing and pants, and for the person who doesn't need to change their outfit ever, you could make a great outfit.
Honestly, this is just gonna make my glamour weave even more realistic. So like,
yeah,
it's on point. I'm gonna spend some money on craft or leather scraps to craft a non-absorbent cloak and spend the rest of my day doing that, I think.
Okay, so it's going to be 50 GP per one that you need. So how many of these cloaks are you making? Celia, I forget, did you say that you wanted to already have one that you bought for 100?
Yeah.
Okay,
I have
there
to
you
go
go.
back to my home to get it first, but yeah.
That's fine. So you have to make 2 more of them, Reese, which means 8 hours, which is a complete day of work. Only in fantasy.
It's fine.
But yeah, you buy the necessary materials.
Yep.
And
I can spend the 50 gold pieces for mine, but whoever I'm making the other one for,
Kyle,
I'm gonna need you to,
could always for that. Just take it from the party loot easily.
Yeah, you can also have the weaver's tools that I got earlier.
Oh, thanks.
They also weigh 5 pounds.
Yeah.
All right. So Kyle, remove 50, or are you still editing, Ilvorn?
1 sec.
If you're still editing, just subtract another 50 GP from it.
No, I'm not editing right now.
All right, then somebody subtract 50 GP from the party loot.
Yeah, I'm doing it. And I'm changing also who has the augments. So Creve has this one, and Riz has this one.
Yep.
Right.
And after a day, the two of you can successfully get your proper non-absorbent quality ponchos.
Right.
They are large enough to fit over top of the majority of your legs. They fall around the bottom half of your calves, above your ankles, as they are supposed to. So the only thing that will be coming in contact with rain is anything that you move outside of the poncho or your boots. However, if your boots aren't metal, it's not really that big of an issue. Oh, Warwick needs one as well.
Well, so I have in we have in the party loot a huge sheet of basilisk hide that we were keeping and that I was planning with the leather work tools to turn into a protective cloak. Would a basilisk hide made cloak cover from?
Did you tan it?
I did in the
Okay.
Skitrium.
Okay, if it was tan, then it's still good. That's something that if you want to make a basilisk hide cloak, that's something that actually does take like a week.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very strong, sturdy material. It would definitely be non-absorbent. I mean, basilisk hide is heavy, hefty, strong material, but it's not something that you can do simply overnight. However, remove another 50 GP so Warwick can get his, because honestly, he's the one who needs it the most. Yeah. He has like 3 things on his entire person that isn't metal.
I knew it. His tea is metal.
Metal as fuck.
The D100.
So anyways, you all wish to do the weaving over the next... You could complete it in one day, just know that you'll be exhausted the following day, Reese, or you can take another half a day to complete it. However, keep in mind, you guys need to find the hand first to know if you're going to be tracking after them.
Yeah. I'm gonna work until somebody tells me to stop.
Sounds good.
Yep, I just need to BRB real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go for it. Who is gonna go look for the hand then?
I will.
Anyone else?
Well,
Yeah,
can
I
we-
will assist him because I'm familiar with the place.
What were you saying, Kreef?
Yeah, I was going
wrong
to
one.
assist as well, but I have a let's see, I have this thing.
Oh!
So
Oh, yeah.
can I use that to sort of try and get in touch with them somehow, or yeah.
Oh, absolutely you could. You walk into one of the alleys where you see a handful of urchins. Here. Remove 5 GP.
Mm-hmm.
And are you trying to get in contact with them or learn their whereabouts? 'Cause either
Learn
or
their
can happen.
whereabouts. Yeah.
All right. The urchin will walk you through town and show you exactly where their border of territory is and the buildings that they see them in most often.
All right.
Criminal contact is so fucking good.
Yeah.
But anyways, Kyle, or I assume you would have brought Kyle and Celia with you while you do this, just to, make it easier.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. The 3 of you go over to the southwest portion of New Haxon, and you start noticing little symbols of digits, finger digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 on all of the shops in this area, all of the homes in this area, discerning that this is widely their territory. Yeah, new AC, baby.
Yep.
As you are moving through this area, you start noticing, Kyle, that people have those symbols on their cloak Like the clasp over top of it looks to be that of an open hand.
What,
And there's quite a few of them in this area.
I'm being racist here. What's the race of the people? Are there mainly human, or can I see like people? I assume coming from Shoras.
All, yeah.
So I'm not looking like weird as a draw.
No, not at all. In New Haxon, I mean, the dominant race in this area is human as 20% of the population, and everybody else fills up the other 80. So it's not even that obnoxious.
I keep my trinket of the Luxon hidden within my stuff.
So you all begin noticing all of these individuals. Just from doing a quick lap around this area, you quickly discern about 24 individuals that all wear that iconography. And publicly at that.
Creve, can I... You're smoother talker than I am, so I prefer you to have it. But would you mind if I do this and I cast Minor Illusion to make appear the same iconography around Creve's neck so that it can be represented as a person from this cult? And Creve being the smooth talker, I don't want to have to do this discussion as I'm not a social person. Would you mind?
No, I wouldn't mind, but, well... I have a feeling that, well, they would probably know who's part of the cult and who's not. It's not that big a city.
Don't forget, cults always have their own secret signal or handshake.
Yes,
so to say.
You're right.
I mean, the idea is good enough, but I think we might need to know more before we attempt something like that.
Okay, and I cut the Minor Illusion. There is no more.
But of course, maybe we could abduct one of them and have a little chat.
Are there any shopkeepers with those clasp on them as well?
To discern that, you'll have to engage a bit more with the group and go into shops. But if you wish to do that, you can.
Yeah, so there's no the roadside tents or whatever.
Around this area, no. The homes, the businesses, the shops are all marked with it, but the individuals tend to stay inside. Where you were at was towards the center of New Haxon, where everything happened. So, yes, they have the outdoor bazaars and such as that. Mm-hmm. Now, many of the shops do have open windows, open doors. However, none of them are waiting outside for engagement.
Okay, what's the...
You also take notice that there's not a whole lot of guards. As you did your lap around here, you saw 2 guards.
Damn. That's bad news. But what's the nearest shop to us?
A nearest shop is a horse hoof making blacksmith. They make the nails for wagons, and they make the hooves or the horseshoes for horses.
So, do you all wish to engage in the conversation with them casually?
Well, I'm sure we can try. I mean, first we should have some idea what we want to accomplish with this conversation. Do we want to try and get to know them. Maybe try and come off as potential recruits. What do we want to do?
Well, the easiest way is just finding out generally what they are and try to look like a curious bunch that's interested in it.
Right. I'm sure I can make them underestimate me or us for that matter. Maybe. Well, we could. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's find what do you call it? A shop that's easily familiar, like a clothing store or what do you call it? A blacksmith or something.
Hmm.
Take a bit of a walk. Is there any nearby stores that are either blacksmith or something, or a clothing store?
Sure. There's a clothing shop around here somewhere. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Just casually saunter into the store, checking stuff out. It does have the symbol on them as well, right?
Yes, all of them in this area have it.
All
Every
right.
single one.
Yeah. Yep. Then yeah, we'll pick that one then.
All right, moving in by yourself.
I don't know if they want to follow or not.
I'll come with.
Okay.
I stay outside and keep an eye
Very well.
for suspicious behaviors and make sure that they're not trapped in it.
All right, Kyle, roll me a perception check, please. All right. The two of you walk inside. A little bell, ding, 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 right above the door. You see a gnomish individual looks over at you. Fairly young, male. Hey, you here to get a fitting or something?
What kind of clothing do they sell here? Like common clothes or like fancier stuff?
Definitely common clothes, but, you know, functional society clothes.
Oh, coming here since you have such a nice collection. I'm just looking around for some newer clothes to replace mine that's been weathered by the storms here lately in the last time I traveled.
Okay. Well, come on over here and I can start sizing you up and we can find you some materials. They leap onto a desk and they do have a standing area for you to go on for them to start measuring you. Roll me a perception check, both of you.
I'm just looking at Celia.
Yeah. God damn. But anyways, 14. As you move over there, Celia, he does not seem to have any of the hand's iconography.
Sad J. Yeah, while he's like measuring, I'll just casually like, you business been good lately?
Typically speaking, never that bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could always be worse.
Seems really different here than the center part of town.
Different strokes, different folks. You know how it goes.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I've been seeing like lots of those symbols here. Anything overly sensitive about them, or is it important?
More than likely, you want to keep your nose out of it.
Yeah.
Not a threat or anything. It's just, you know, head down, ears down, happy life. All that jazz.
Just, I thought it was like some kind of a fashion statement or something, since it's plastered all over the place.
No, that's nope. That's just to make sure business is as good as it can be.
Yeah, I guess it's part of the reason why everything looks pretty orderly.
Right.
In any
You know, you have
case,
deceptively broad shoulders.
well, traveling for a long time takes quite a bit of shoulder strength carrying things. This can't be helped
Yeah.
after all.
Yeah, are you one of those scavengers that go out in the old lands?
Oh no, I'm more of a wanderer since part of trying to make a living writing and composing, you need to experience a lot of things instead of being cooped up in one place.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, hey, I mean, if that's the life you want to live, that's the life you get to live, right? That's one of the
Indeed.
perks of living in New Haxon, right? You don't
Yeah,
have to worry about no
everything
one stepping on no toes.
and everything is always changing here. Even the weather is never correct.
Oh, jeez. You're telling me. The other day, we had a shipment trying to come in, and the electric winds shocked all of the wool. Do you know what wool does when you get a little electric on it?
No,
Terrible.
yeah,
Terrible.
that would be hell to do.
Yeah,
Work
now we have
on.
to treat it all.
That sucks.
You know, I once saw a woolly mammoth with that kind of hairdo, as it were.
What, the big poof?
Yeah, it looks.
Yeah.
It's quite. Yeah.
I mean, it's hilarious, but the work you gotta put into it's just not worth it, you know?
Well, sure, but yeah.
That's New accent for you. You can't even
Yeah.
expect anything to go right.
Ain't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Sound like you've been here a little while, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You're obviously
It's,
not from these quarters. What section are you from?
Roughly around the northeast side, since that's where
Northeast.
they brought me there. No idea
They
why
cut-
they told me to sit there instead.
He kind of straightens up a little bit. Northeast?
Don't worry about it. I say living, it's not really living. I'm just squatting in someone's house
Roll a persuasion.
for a day or two.
Or deception, if that's a lie.
No, it's a persuasion. Since
Okay.
the Dwarven twins live there, they're one of the allies I know.
It's a nice enough place, I say. Trying to just assist.
Can I use my session inspiration?
Well, you're getting assisted by Creve.
Oh yeah, that's true. Let's go. 22.
22.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it's average.
All right. Well, so long as you're not affiliated with all of them, I really don't want to deal with any of that drama, you know?
Oh no, don't worry. The first few days, everyone assumed that. After a while, they realized that I had jack shit to do with them. I'd rather
we
just
don't
do my own thing.
we don't usually get nice folk around here. What if I give you guys a 20% discount? Just being good conversation.
Sure, why not? Thank you. Thanks a
yeah,
lot.
of course. No problem. Now, looking at your dimensions, depending on the quality of fabric you're looking at getting and the amount of time you need me to take it, we're looking at something close to 3 silver after the discount. I'll get you set up with a nice little outfit that'll be a good Roman about. Nothing like silk or anything, but it'll be good
Yeah,
enough.
true. Yeah, as long as it's functional and tough enough.
Yeah. You want to put in
Yep,
the
yep.
order?
Yeah, I'll put in 2 for it.
I'll also put in an order for a little outfit for her. Emphasis
third
on the
one?
little.
He pulls out a needle and aims it at you. Ma'am, this person isn't giving you problems, is he?
I
And by
don't take
needle,
it
it's
too
like a
seriously.
large sewing needle in his gnomish hands.
Bro, let's put it together.
I tend to just ignore the plenty obvious advances. Don't worry about it.
Anyways, yeah, go ahead, walk around the shop, pick out a few different bolts that you like, and I'll see what I can bring together for you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, feel free.
Yeah,
And he, looks
I
over
just-
at you, Creve, and just quickly...
I'm giving her a present. What's bad about that?
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
So to keep up your facade, you probably spend another 5, 10 minutes, hour if you want,
Yeah,
picking
I'll
out.
just pick up
Yeah.
the what do you call it? Subdued color is like good, comfortable cloths, and then just pay the 6 silvers at him.
Okay. Now, outside during this time, Kyle, you kind of find a nice little spot next to the building to, hide in the shadows and just keep watch. And then you hear something. Something you heard last night in the tavern. A whistle. And you look over and you see a nerdy-looking human with glasses, kind of small, 5'1", 5'2", male, brownish hair, but definitely unassuming, just walking down the street, whistling as they move. He looks directly over at you, just smiles.
Does he have the trinket?
He does not, that you can see, but he is wearing a large cloak that covers the bulk of his armament.
I'll wait for a couple of seconds that he go through, cast invisibility, and start tracking him.
Okay, roll me a stealth check. Advantage, of course. 25. As you continue following after him, he walks around a couple of corners and seems to be looking around town and, watching people. Roll me an insight check, Kyle.
I always have advantage to those because bullshit race.
Yep. 12! It takes you about 15 minutes of following him to realize nobody has walked on the same side of the road as him. Nobody. Including the people with the religious iconography. And he seems to be looking into a couple of shops, and after he passes by, you see a handful of people almost give like a sigh of relief as you're walking up next. And after following for roughly 30 minutes in total, he goes over to a building towards the far side of town. This building has about an 80-foot gap of open area before a short stone wall that goes around it, sectioning it off, with a gate in the front that has two of those individuals with the iconography in front watching. He walks over towards the gates, and both of them bow their heads and open the gate for him as he keeps walking.
How far am I?
As far as ways you would like.
I mean, are those big gates that take time to be closed, or?
They leave it open long enough for him to get in and then close it. They don't leave it agape for a while. And it's not a gate that's made to support, like, multiple, entries. It's like a gated archway that allows one person. And by short wall, the wall is only about 6 feet tall. It is a short wall.
6 feet tall, so it's smaller than me.
Yeah. It's a small wall. And then an 80-foot gap over to the actual building.
So I would like to get close to the wall
Okay.
and sneak peek above the wall.
All right.
See what's between the gap.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
18. You look over at the wall, and as he is approaching, there is a shadow that moves over the door, and the door opens for him. And then you see on the inside something that you've only read about or have been told about from your family. You see an individual standing there in the foyer of this small little cabinet, and they have long gray robes that have this symbol on it. And you recognize that as the symbol of the Cerberus Assembly. An old man, gray hair, receded hairline that seems to have been shunted, very liver spot filled all across his face, neck, hands. And the individual walks inside and gives him a little bow before the door shuts by that same shadowy essence or creature, maybe. However, after you make that realization,
Are there any windows on the building?
Not a single window in the whole building.
I would like to take this opportunity to jump over the wall and make just a quick turn around the building to figure out if there is any kind of entry. I'm still invisible.
What's your passive?
19.
Okay. You grab onto the top of the wall and hoist yourself up, and you notice runic markings on the other slabs across the wall. Do you still want to jump?
No.
High passive saves your ass. But anyways, with that realization, I think this is where we're going to end the session. Kai, welcome to the game. Hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yay!
Sorry we didn't get a whole lot of roleplay with you, but we're at that sleuthy phase of
Oh,
the
no,
edgy
it's
group.
fine. I enjoy the sleuthing. As all this is
Alright.
going on, I'm just weaving.
And posing. You have to vote. When in doubt,
I
vote.
pose. I find a widow's walk somewhere in the city and start using it as a catwalk.
Of course. But anyways, players, thank you all very much for player. Viewers, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and consider becoming a member if you enjoy this content. We will see you all next time. Goodbye.